This is breaking news.
We do begin with that breaking news tonight. ABC has suspended Jimmy Kimmel's late night show indefinitely following comments he made about conservative political activist Charlie Kirk's killing. In a Monday night monologue, Kimmel made comments suggesting Kirk's alleged killer, Tyler Robinson, might have been a pro-Trump Republican. Good evening. Thanks for joining us, everybody. I'm Steve Dunn.
And I'm Reich Asway. ABC's decision comes after station group Nexstar announced it would not air Kimmel on its ABC affiliates. The president of Nexstar's broadcasting division released a statement saying in part, quote, Mr. Kimmel's comments about the death of Mr. Kirk are offensive and insensitive at a critical time in our national political discourse, and we do not believe they reflect the spectrum of opinions, views, or values of the local communities in which we are located. Our parent company, Sinclair Broadcast Group, joined Nexstar in pulling Kimmel's show from the air. A company spokesperson says due to problematic comments regarding the murder of Charlie Kirk in programming provided to broadcast stations by ABC, Sinclair and its partners, which operate ABC stations in 30 markets in the U.S., will stop airing Jimmy Kimmel's show until further notice.
And tonight, President Trump calling the announcement great news. The president writing on Truth Social tonight. Congratulations to ABC for finally having the courage to do what had to be done. Kimmel has zero talent and worse ratings than even Colbert, if that's possible. The president then called on NBC to follow suit with its late night shows with Jimmy Fallon and Seth Meyers, who he claims have horrible ratings. In July, CBS announced the Late Show with Stephen Colbert would end in May of next year. Now, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer slamming the decision to suspend Jimmy Kimmel's show.
This is just despicable, disgusting, and against democratic values. Trump and his allies seem to want to shut down speech that they don't like to hear. That is not what democracies do.
Schumer called it outrageous, saying it doesn't matter if you agree with Kimmel or not, he has the right to free speech. Meantime, the White House responded to the news through its rapid response account on X. The Post reads, quote, they're doing their viewers a favor. Jimmy is a sick freak.
We've been following and receiving many calls about this. Katu is an ABC affiliate, so we don't have a say in ABC's decision. You can call ABC's audience relations. That number's there on your screen, 818-460-7477, 818-460-7477. You can also submit feedback at support.abc.com.
Well, tonight, calls for firings and even criminal charges continue from groups of Charlie Kirk supporters related to comments they say celebrate the conservative activist's death.
However, even some conservatives say some of the calls for accountability infringe on the First Amendment. National correspondent Matt Gelka explains.
ABC News correspondent Matt Gutman apologized after saying this about alleged text between suspected Charlie Kirk shooter Tyler Robinson and his roommate.
It was very touching in a way that I think many of us didn't expect, a very intimate portrait into this relationship.
Gutman wrote in part he deeply regretted his words and that he unequivocally condemned the shooting.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them.
Late night host Jimmy Kimmel also getting conservative backlash over these comments. Both are part of a growing list of people targeted by online mobs demanding consequences for Charlie Kirk-related remarks. The president vowed to go after groups on the left.
The radical left has done tremendous damage to the country, but we're fixing it.
And earlier this week, the Attorney General suggested people could face federal charges.
There's free speech and then there's hate speech. We will absolutely target you, go after you, if you are targeting anyone with hate speech.
But her words were condemned by even the most outspoken members of the right, saying that stifling speech is the exact opposite of what Kirk advocated for.
There's no sentence that Charlie Kirk would have objected to more than that. And you've got to think the Attorney General didn't think it through.
The First Amendment absolutely protects speech. It absolutely protects hate speech. It protects vile speech. It protects horrible speech. What does that mean? It means you cannot be prosecuted for speech, even if it is evil and bigoted and wrong.
Bondi attempted to clarify her comments, saying hate speech that crosses the line into threats of violence is not protected by the First Amendment. She told Axios her office would not be prosecuting people for hate speech alone. Reporting in Washington, I'm Matt Gelka.